Most people are using GPT completely wrong, okay? According to ChatGPT, I'm in the top 1% of GPT users worldwide. Here's how I'm using AI to save dozens and dozens of hours, maybe hundreds of hours every week. You see, agents that are not using AI right now, they're not just falling behind, they are being left behind, which is different, right? They're being left in the dust by us agents, us executives that are using AI. I'm gonna give you 3 steps to making ChatGPT your actual business partner in your business and saving you hundreds of hours of time every month while getting ahead of everyone else that you're competing with in the market. Use this 3-step AI system that I'm about to show you, and you will explode your real estate business. Check it out. Step 1, upgrade to a pro account. Listen, free is for fun, pro is for profit. Listen, there's so many pro features that you get, to include enhanced memory, to include more context features, to include additional input features. There's just so much that I can break into that I don't have time to talk about now. So there's so much more that you can do when you are using a pro account. You also are able to get the new rollouts before it's available to the rest of the public, right? What does every agent need to do? What does every entrepreneur need to do to stay ahead of the competition? You want early access. You want the ability to be able to use this stuff before anybody else and get ahead of it. Learn the ways that the new things are working. Step 2, train it on you. You want to train your AI on you. So one of the things that I recommend is that you take an hour of your time, and I promise you, this will be the best hour that you can possibly spend doing anything else except maybe prospecting, okay? But if you're not lead generating, carve out an hour. And even if you are, by the way, I'd say stop for this 1 hour. You take this time, block this hour off, and that will make your prospecting time more effective. So I still recommend, this is the most valuable hour that you can spend. You want to ask ChatGPT this simple question. You want to say, hey, GPT, what I need you to do is ask me 25 questions about my real estate business. Ask me 25 questions about my real estate business, okay? And spend that time answering those questions so that your GPT can get to know you. Now, remember, we said you're gonna have a pro account. That's where you started. And you're gonna tell it to save these answers to memory, which I believe is a pro feature at the time of this recording. So you wanna tell it to ask you 25 questions about your real estate business and save those answers to memory. Why are you doing this? Number one, because when you do this, you are now separating yourself from the average GPT user that just goes in and says, hey, give me a marketing campaign, give me a 12-month email campaign, give me this, give me this. And it's pulling from the same set of data and giving that same answer to everyone else, okay? If you are going to be an elite GPT user and use AI to really stand out, your GPT needs to know you. It needs to understand the specificity of you and your value proposition, what you bring to the table, what areas you specialize in, your niches, all those things. And the better it does that, number one, it's starting to learn you so that you can be like my brother Brandon down there. He had a prospect go into ChatGPT and ask, hey, who's the most investor-friendly agent in Houston? And Brandon's name popped up, okay? How did it know that? It's because Brandon spends so much time pouring into AI. So that's an example of something that you want to be able to utilize for your success, okay? Teach GPT about you so that when you ask for prompts, now it's your business partner. It knows just as much, maybe more than you do, and you've now trained it to answer other people's queries about you. Keep that in mind. Finally, rule number 3, and this is so important. Garbage in, garbage out, okay? If you put a crappy prompt into GPT, you're going to get a crappy response. If you put a mediocre prompt in GPT, you're going to get a mediocre answer. Otherwise, if you put an incredible prompt with the incredible context and incredible background and history and all these things into GPT, your results are going to be miles beyond. You're going to be in the top 1%, okay, with your responses and what you're able to execute on. You'll be successful, you'll be average, or you will fail based on your prompts. Do you want to know how to craft the perfect prompt? Trick question, okay? That is a part of the acronym. It's CRAFT, Craft AI Formatting. This is how it breaks down. The C is for context. You want to provide as much context as humanly possible before asking GPT to do anything for you. So what I may say is, hey, I explain to GPT what it is that you're doing. Okay, so hey, I am crafting a 12-month email campaign for people that I've previously done business with in my area, right? So my closed clients, and they may range from a year ago to 15 years ago. So they're going to be all within that range. So again, you're giving as much context as possible for what it is so that GPT understands what environment that it's coming into. Now, the R is going to be for the role. So you want to give ChatGPT a role to play in this content process. So if you're saying in that same 12-month email campaign, for example, you're going to say, hey, I want you to act like a marketing professional with 10, 15, 20 years marketing experience in direct response marketing. That specific. Tell it the role that you wanted to play. And you can also say, I want you to be similar to like a Dan Kennedy, a Jay Abraham, or whomever, right? Give it Dan Sullivan, all these incredible marketers that are out there. You can tell it the role that you wanted to play, and you can tell it the type of person that you wanted to embody. So you want to give it a very clear role that you want this to play. What hat do you want your AI to wear? Okay, that's the R. A is for the action. What action do you want it to take? So you tell it, hey, I want you to draft now, and it needs to be an action word. So you say, hey, I want you to draft 12 emails for me that are engaging with my audience. Maybe I've fallen out of touch with my sphere of influence, with my past client database. I want you to draft 12 emails that are going to go to them and that are going to be successful. And so maybe what you'll say is, hey, I want you to draft 12 emails and text messages that I can send to my sphere of influence, specifically to my previous clients that I've done business with, just reintroducing myself, apologizing for falling out of touch with them, and seeking the ability to reach out to them going forward. Okay, letting them know, reminding them I'm still in the real estate business. Okay, whatever it is that you want that GPT to do, you're going to request that in the action block. Okay, now next up is going to be your F. Okay, CRAFT. The F is for format. What format do you want your GPT to spit that out in? Do you want it to be in a spreadsheet? Do you want it to be in a chart? Do you want it to be in a Google Doc that you can copy and paste? What format do you want this to be in? Do you want a picture? Do you want to draw something for you, right? Do you want a caption? Do you, whatever it is you're looking for, do you want a script? You want to be specific in how you want it to give you this, in a PDF document or whatever it is. So be specific in the format or the output request. And then T is for tonality, okay? We call that the tone. What tone do you want this to be? So I may want it to say, hey, I want the tone of this text message and email campaign. I want that tone to be friendly. I want it to be humorous, but yet still professional. Okay, you want to paint the tone standard so that GPT understands. This is a part as well where I will include examples. So remember, if I said I wanted to do hey, the role you're playing is that of a Dan Kennedy and Frank Kern, or one of these marketing legends, okay, Jay Abraham, whomever. These are the things I want you to play. And then I'll drop into the tonality box. I'll say, okay, what I want you to do is, here's a few examples of some copy that I really like. Here's a few examples of some text messages that I've seen, or some email campaigns that I've seen that you can sort of frame this after. So this is where you can provide examples as well of the exact tonality, the exact chord that you're trying to strike through your prompt, okay? So now we have craft, C-R-A-F-T. AI, A is for the audience. A is for the audience. Who is this going to? Again, be very specific here. I know we've already talked about that a little bit in the context, but you can be more specific and say, look, these are for people that I have, these are my past clients, these are the folks that I've done business with, and I successfully helped them as a listing agent selling their home, or as a buyer's agent helping them to find homes. So these are the exact audience that I'm going after. Okay, be as specific as you want to in here. Now, this may sound redundant, but remember, I just picked an example at random. It's very possible that you did not provide that in your context, right? As you were talking about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. If you have not provided any information about the audience that this is going to, this is a reminder in the A section that you want to make sure that you give it the audience of people that you're reaching out to, okay? Maybe you are seeking agents, right? So let's kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about you're a team leader, you're a broker owner, and you're wanting to maybe recruit agents. So then in the audience block, you're going to say, hey, I'm looking for agents that have done 2.5 plus, somewhere between 2.5 and maybe $10 million in volume over the last 12 months. That's my ideal audience. That's my avatar. That's who I'm going after. That's who this message is for. That's what the A is for, that audience. Who's this going for? And then finally, I, right? Craft AI. The I is for the intent. Now that you've given all this information, right? What do you want to have happen here? Okay. What is the end goal? What are you seeking to have happen? So back to the scenario, as an agent, I may say, I want these people to reach out to me and let me know that it's okay for me to send them a monthly newsletter. Or, hey, I want them to search their database and tell me if they have anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the near future. Okay, so maybe that's the intent. That's what I want to have happen. Or if switching gears to a team leader, to a broker owner hat, I want an agent to reach out to me to schedule a call to talk about the future of their real estate business. I want that. That's the intention that I want. I want them to book a call on my calendar. So if that's the intent, you want to put the intent there. So again, ChatGPT understands the context, it understands all these things, and now it knows what it is that you're ultimately trying to accomplish as a result of the action that you've asked GPT to take. All right. Now, the last piece is just a question mark. So I say craft AI with a question mark. The question mark is when I have time. Normally, I just run through the Craft AI framework to give it the best response possible, right? Like on a short basis. And that's just the way my brain thinks through it. CRAFT, AI, boom, knock it out. But when I have some time and when I really want to be specific on what it is that I'm trying to get out of this, okay? I'm looking at a big project or something, and I really want to save time on it and I really want the very best answer possible, I put the question mark in there, okay? So remember, what did we do in phase 2 of this 3-step system? What we did was we said, hey, ask me questions about my real estate business, okay? Same thing here. So when I'm doing the Craft AI framework, you can tell GPT, all right, I've given you all this stuff. The question mark is for ask me 10 questions, 5 questions, however much time you have. Ask me 10 questions about this prompt before answering so that you give me the best response possible. And here's a bonus tip, and allow me to answer in multiple choice, right? So give me 5 or 10, whatever it is, give me 10 multiple choice questions so that I can get the very best response possible from you. What's GPT going to do? It's going to give you additional 5 questions that are going to add some context, add some clarity, and then it's going to give you the ability to answer those in a multiple choice format. So I highly recommend that. That's my Craft AI framework as a top 1% user worldwide. Okay, that's what I recommend in terms of getting the most out of your relationship with GPT. Hope that helps. I did write an entire AI playbook out that talks about my top tips. This was just the first 3, but if you want a really quick short read, you don't want to go through some big long course on AI, okay, I did shorten everything down into just 10 tips that are going to help you apply AI to your real estate business. Shoot me a quick DM, say AI, and I will get that blueprint over to you. All right.